Right, some engine bits now, Keith. Well, continuing with the engine bits. So I've been trying to find a way of getting the oil temperature sensor in this. I know I've said it before, but I've gone through, this is my fourth one, so I'm not putting it in there. So I've got the idea of putting an inline one in this oil hose. Took me ages to find something, but I found that, which obviously would go in line. But the problem I had is the sensor, when it went in the hole, it blocked off the oil way. So I had to find. So I spoke to Matt Lewis Racing. They had an even bigger one, which is the sender fits into, doesn't block the oil way, so I'm going to give that a go and see how that fits in. So it means I can get the oil cooler fitted, then the oil filter. I've made a new radiator shroud and fitted that yesterday. That was a pain in the bum. So yeah, once that's fitted, I can get oil filter on, probably then get the thermostat housing and stuff on, get the pipes connected to the secondary water cooler, then the coil, got the sensors to fit here, and then I can put, I think that's it then. A few other pipes to connect up here and here. I'm not quite liking that, but I might need just cutting down. So yeah, I'm going to get on with fitting this. So just gonna put some PTFE around that. Where did I put that?
Hey mini enthusiasts, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. This is part 34 of the ERA build, and I thought I'd chip in just to let you know. So Mark is putting PTFE tape on the oil temperature sensor there. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. So the oil temperature sensors, it's exactly the same as the coolant temperature sensor, or the same type. It works in the same way anyway. So that works on resistance changing with temperature. It's either a positive or a negative effect on resistance. So it takes a low voltage signal from the temperature gauge, which is regulated through a voltage regulator. It's usually around about 5 or 6 volts. And then the resistance of the actual sensor itself determines how much the gauge is deflected. So some sensors do have 2 wires on them, so they'll have the sensing wire, the voltage sensing wire, and they will have their own separate earth, but most of the time they earth through the body of the sensor. So that means whatever the sensor's mounted into, it needs to be earthed, and it has to have a good contact between the body of the sensor and the components. Obviously putting PTFE tape in it will insulate that sensor and stop it from working, unfortunately. But I've already chatted to Mark about it, and I think he's already addressed that issue. Coming up, so we'll chat a little bit later. Mark's going to do a bit of talking in a moment. Obviously the ERA build is coming to an end now, and I just wanted to kind of let you know what's coming next to the channel, what's going to be the next build coming to the Classic Mini Workshop. There'll be at least one car, and there's a few in the pipeline. So after Mark does his talking bit, let's get voting on it. Let me know in the description down the bottom what you would like to see restored on the channel next. Be great to have your input on it. So that's my waffling over. Let me pass back to Mark and he can update us on where he is.
Well, you've seen what a nightmare that was. I'm not sure if that's right. I just need to double check some photos on that. So obviously the sensor's supposed to go on the back there, but it doesn't fit. Well, I can't make it work. So I know it's not pretty, but I'm just going to try that for now. I may have to get some more piping sort of made up to suit, because that's a bigger connection than what that pipe is, so that wasn't going into that pipe, so I've had to put a reducer between them. It's there, I can try it. All the filter, it's all clear, filter does up, so yeah, I suppose give it a go. If it leaks all everywhere, back to the drawing board. But I know it's not pretty, but I suppose it'll work, serves a purpose. So other stuff I have been doing, so I've replaced all of these, I can't remember what they're called, they're all stainless steel ones now. I know they weren't original factory stainless, but they were zinc plated, so they're all changed. I've changed what I can down in there to the oil feed pipes. I managed to repair that broke out. I think I might have mentioned it in a previous recording. I've had to take that, tee that into there, just because when Ian rebuilt all this, he didn't put the feed pipe in there for the dump valve feed, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm just going to double check with Keith whether he thinks that'll work. Then I can connect the water pipes up to the thermostat, connect all that. I've got the coil now, I've got the leads, I've got to connect all the cables here, which are all here. I don't know where they go at the moment. And then that's, in effect, I'm ready to start the car up. At the moment, still waiting. Obviously I've got the interior to do. I'm still waiting for the gauges to come back. They've had them 2 weeks now. They did say a week, and 2 days to repair them or refurb them. But they've had them 2 weeks. Obviously I can't actually start the car up till I get all the gauges. So I think my next job will be get the carpets in. I've got no door cards, as I said in the previous one. Get all the carpets in, and then hopefully the gauges will come this week, so I can get all the dash in. Oh yeah, so obviously the boot is on, which you saw in the previous, and I have finally got the downpipe clamp and bracket on, so we can get a bit better picture of that, which bolts to the diff housing. The bracket that was supplied with it, because I've got oh, let me just get out. Where's the other bracket there? So because I've got a 2-inch downpipe and exhaust, I think Keith said factory was inch and 3/4. The original bracket, I just couldn't get it to fit. Bolted on either the diff housing and then the clamp wouldn't go in. It's this part here was probably 10 mil, 5 to 10 mil out, which is the difference between inch and 3/4 and a 2-inch exhaust. So what I did, I'll send Keith some photos so we can. I forgot to take. I think I forgot to video it. So so you can kind of see from that outline where what I needed to be. So yeah, I made a new one. Obviously sprayed it up and fitted it. So yeah, if anyone else is putting in a bigger exhaust, I can cut this template out and scan it and put it, email it. So yeah, sorry for waffling on, but yeah. So we're getting there. Still not got the body kit. Still chasing Curly UK. I'll give him a chase this week. Hopefully, maybe this week we'll go and pick up the old one, and then maybe wait till next year. So yeah, that's it for today. Got my trusty little helper. Just going to do all the torquing up of the castle nuts and other bits on the suspension. I need to get the car on wheels this weekend just to move it around. So she's going to help me do that and get the wheels on it.
So, as I mentioned, there's 3 cars in the pipeline which will be coming up next for restoration. So get in the description down the bottom, let us know what you think and what you would like to see restored. So there's kind of a choice of 3. So there's a 1968 Riley Elf. There's a 1993 Mini called Rufus, which is one of, I say it's Mark's car. It's heavily modified. It's got a custom paint job and a big stereo install. Sorry, just getting distracted. Sounds like Mark's got a new torque wrench. Or the one I'm really looking forward to is a 1971 Mark III Cooper S 1275. So drop a comment down the bottom and give us your input. What would you like to see restored next?
$200 Newton meters. Then the next hole is what it says on the list there. It don't seem right somehow. You're probably all going to be shouting at the screen, but I've just messaged Keith to see whether that's right, because that seems way too tight. Way too tight. I'm sure it ain't that. Don't make any sense. It's literally, the castle nut is half over the hole.
So yeah, it can be quite frustrating that it is around about 200 Newton meters. It might be about 206 exactly. I'll have to look in the handbook, but yeah, you do it up to 200, 206, and then you, if the hole doesn't line up with the hole in the castle nut, then you keep going until it does. So as you can see in this example, it's resulted in it being very tight. Now that's just unfortunate. That's the way it happens. Sometimes you can try swapping the castle nut left to right, just seeing if it's drilled slightly differently, and that might help, but it should be okay.
Well, that was 315 Newton meters to the next hole. But they're at the next hole, so well done.
Usually the biggest problem is just keeping the hub from stopping it from moving when you're trying to tighten it up.
Typically, I've put the other split pins in a safe place and I can't find them. Right, Keith, I have not put the split pins in. So before I take it out, we need to put the split pins in. I can't even find my box of split pins. I will have a tidy up though.
Don't worry, Mark, I will remember. And at 315 Newton meters, they're probably not going to come loose.
Where's the most logical place you would put wheel nuts? I would put them in the jack bag, wouldn't I? Duh. Also, when I picked up these from the wheel refurb company, he said, "Oh, you've got the little locking things." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Oh, have I? Couldn't find them either. But I put them with the wheel nuts, didn't I? In the jack bag.
So, if you are not a subscriber to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Like I say, there's lots of builds coming up, and you know, if you subscribe, ring the bell, etc., you won't miss out on those restorations from start to finish. So this is drawing to an end now. So honestly, let us know in the description down the bottom what you would like to see next. We'd like your input. Grease going in, so yeah, good sign we're getting there now. I think Mark's just about ready to get it now down onto all four wheels, having torqued up all the suspension and steering components. I keep getting asked what I'm doing next after Sprout as well. All I can tell you is I'm looking. I'm not going to rush out and just get a restoration just for the sake of doing it. I've got a few I'm looking at, and hopefully it'll be really exciting, the one I do get. Two Duggers. I'm sure he'll torque them up properly with his nice snazzy new torque wrench.
Here she goes.
Quite a milestone this, back on all four wheels. So it's not been like that since, I guess, October, November time. So well done.
Wow. On the ground.
Obviously looking pretty high because it needs to settle down.
The back front seems really high, but the door, this line here is there or thereabouts, so I don't know.
So we're nearly done now. Hopefully you'll join us for the next update next week.
Wait for it all to go bang now.